Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to Rerez. I have to push this button so that you can actually see me. Alright, today I have two very special guests, West from WesterlyReviews, and Chris from Smashmaster Show. I almost forgot the show.
You piece of garbage! Okay.
Alright, so I am going to adjust my headphones so I'm not making my ears just pop out of my head. Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Are we good?
Yeah.
We are good.
Yes.
Okay.
I can hear you.
So I think everything is going well. I think the stream is going fine. I'm pretty sure everybody can hear it properly, so we're good. All right. So
Yeah. I'm having a look at the list right now. Looks like a few people are viewing.
For some reason, I had to refresh the page before the thing showed up. Usually the stream just starts like automatically, but it was like offline. I'm like, I can't see Shane's beautiful face. What is going on here?
So earlier today I was playing Bride of Pinball, and I actually got the highest score I've ever got on it. Originally the highest score I ever got was 2 billion points, and I got 6 billion. So today I'm going to try and play some other pinball machine games while we're talking. I think somebody asked me to play... What did they ask me? Scared Stiff? Yeah, I think Scared... No, was it Scared Stiff? Medieval Madness. That was the one they asked me to play. Alright, so we're going to do that. I figured we'd have some guests on here so we could actually talk about video games, and it's not just me talking the whole time. That way it's more fun. And we can... We're all reviewers. We all review games.
Until I start talking, then everyone wants to die.
Yeah, and then till I start, coming up with
then
crazy theories on video games and bore everyone to death.
Burning babies fall from the sky whenever Chris talks.
Yes.
See, I can totally see that.
Okay. So, guys, what is new? Are there any neat video game topics that you guys have been following this week?
Topics. Man, the name of the game for the past month or so has been avoiding the big controversial topic right now, and I think everyone knows what it is, so we'll just sort of, let it sit in the corner.
Is it that creaky gate that all the gamers open?
Yeah, the magic gate that never closes. That one. Yeah, I think
magic gate. I think the magic gate is probably the best way to describe it.
Oh my god,
magic gate. Brilliant.
It's taking us forever to talk about this. We are a gamer late.
I've actually, I think, I don't care if we talk about it because it is an issue, right? Like, oh shit, I just lost that ball for no good reason. Yeah, there's been like a lot of people talking about feminist issues and stuff like that in games. I have a very unique opinion about that stuff only because my mom taught me how to play video games, and a lot of the video games I played growing up were actually created by women, so women have been a part of video games for me since the very beginning. It's been kind of very... video games and women have been synonymous for me. I've always just assumed women were always treated the same way that men were in the gaming industry. And although it appears that it's not always the case, I hate everything that's happened so far. It's been maddening and insane.
Yeah, it's been pretty bad. Honestly, my perspective is a little different than yours. Generally, the only people that I knew in video games were the product of, what I played as a kid. Like, the only two names that I knew were Manami Matsumae, who is, the Mega Man composer, and Sherry McKenna, who was responsible for funding Oddworld Inhabitants, and I love Oddworld to death.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, those were the only ones, those were the only household women's game development names. And then that record got besmirched a month ago when, someone who is not entirely wonderful had to be added to that list. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a little weird. Honestly, so for me personally, the first video game, the first PC game I ever owned was Police Quest, which arguably wasn't created by like some very prominent female developer or anything like that.
Police Quest.
Yes, a very old game, but Police Quest was produced and I believe also like designed by the folks at Sierra. And Sierra was created by a husband and wife team, and Roberta Williams has been like one of the driving forces for some of the best point-and-click action adventure games to have ever been created. She was the one who wrote the King's Quest series of games, so she's been involved in the video game industry for me at least at the very beginning of things. And I can honestly say that it had not been for her involvement in the game industry and helping like basically co-found that company, I would not be playing PC games. I probably wouldn't be playing video games that often, and that would suck because I like them a lot. But yeah, the women have been in the game industry for me, like I said, since the very beginning, and I've always just assumed that's how it was for everybody else. But other people have just had a different kind of opinion and a different kind of feel for how it all goes. But,
Well, personally for me, I mean, when I said that I only knew two female people in the gaming industry, it was more along the lines of like I had never cared because I had never really thought about who had made the games that I was playing. I was more interested in playing the games. And that's kind of a trend that continues with me. I prefer not to talk about the industry, you know, in a big debate and argument. I mean, this is fine. This is a casual conversation about it, but, you know, generally I prefer to stick to the games themselves and what merits they offer.
Oh yeah, I get that, totally. And believe me, I do respect that. I think I like to treat video games like video games and not really dive into the whole... I mean, the creators are important to me, but I don't feel it's accurate when we just basically point out one sex for creators and basically vilify, make games seem more important than they actually are by just saying, well, this game was made by a woman, so we have to focus on it, or this game is made by a man and we shouldn't focus on it. None of that really matters. Yeah. The quality of the product should stand for itself and be known for what it stands for. And I guess yeah, I mean, lately everybody's been talking about Depression Quest. I've personally never played Depression Quest. It doesn't even, like, to me...
I don't even know what it is.
Well, it appears to be a text-based
hearing
adventure.
About it. The only thing that I ever hear about it is it's that one game that is from that one person and controversy.
Yes.
That's all. That's the only thing I know about it. I have no idea what it is.
It's basically the same thing for people who don't like Phil Fish and don't play Fez on the basis of not liking Phil Fish. And it's important in video games especially to separate the art from the artist. Well, it's not really art so much because games are not entirely art, but, you know, the creator from
what?
Product.
Games are art? Let's get a fight going. Come on.
All right, okay. I do indeed think games are art, but not... Oh, jeez.
So it's a screaming bloodshed. You can continue.
Games being art is a touchy subject, and although I am on the side of games are art, I don't think they should be primarily art all the time, or to the degree to which people try to make them art. In most cases. Because, by and large, video games are a medium of just entertainment. It's I don't know. It's a complex subject. I would have to give, you know, plenty of...
Like, I think, like, anything can be art, but it's usually art in the eyes of different people. It's...
Yeah.
One thing you think is complete and utter shite, and it's like, dear God, Chris, why would you play this? You suck. I hope you burn in the fire. I could
like Yoshi's Island.
I could be like, oh, I will happily burn in that fire with pride for this game. It's amazing, you know, something like that. Like, I mean, like not even just games, like anything really.
Yeah, there's plenty of that, and you know, to each his own. I respect people's opinions, and that's one thing that I think people need to get on board with the idea of.
Except for you, your opinions suck.
Yes, of course, my opinions are utter trash. I like portable games.
I stuttered trying to say that for some reason. I don't know why. That was weird. I was like, your
it's stream lag.
Yeah, you can your opinions suck.
Play it off as stream lag. It's okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I would accept that.
Switch's fault, everybody. It's okay. We're good.
One thing I've noticed is that, I mean, it's happened a lot recently with talking about, I forget her name, Zoe Quinn, I think that's her name.
Yeah.
Zoe Quinn they've been basically talking about the game she made, which was Depression Quest, and I've personally never played it, but the game didn't look that interesting to me, and that's why I didn't play it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
You can't base preconceived notions on a game. You can have preconceived notions on a game. That's what reviews are for. But you can't base them on the creator and what the creator has done. In most respects, the closer it gets to becoming art, the closer you can approximate that based on the artist. It's like, criticizing a movie based on an actor. But for the most part, you have to experience it for yourself.
Yep.
And that is one of the things that I think... Yeah, that's one of the things that I think makes games less of art and more of an alchemy of art and a science.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm going to waver in and out of the conversation as I have a multi-ball going on the table right now, and I'm trying my best to keep all the balls in play.
Don't worry about it. We understand how important your balls are.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's why I'm here. Thank you.
Predictable joke.
Well, that's my entire game, really. That's my entire life goal. Predictability. Welcome to Smash Master Show.
I should start a new show called Predictability.
Predictability featuring Smash Master Show in every single episode. Because he literally is predictability. He is the show incarnate.
Well, based on your upload schedule, I'd say predictability is something that isn't
Oh.
a strong suit, but, to each his own.
Hey.
Oh, wow.
Hey.
That was actually a little harsh.
You want to fucking go, bro?
Well,
Dude,
I
I upload approximately every 2 months at this point, so I can't really say anything.
You want to fight me, mate? I'll go with you right now.
You what, mate?
Yeah, what, mate?
There was actually something that happened. I think it happened today. I'm going to butcher this guy's name. It's like Tom Pepper or something like that.
Oh,
I think it was Sam Pepper.
God.
Sam Pepper, thank you. Somebody told me to basically they want all the YouTubers to rally to each other, and some days I don't think of myself as a YouTuber, but that's what I am. But I get basically what they said was find out what this guy's doing, and then if you really believe it's a problem, speak against it. So I was like, okay, I don't know what this guy's doing, and I paid attention and I watched what he did, and I was like,
yeah,
you'd get arrested doing that where I live. So
I know.
Yeah,
I didn't actually watch the video, but I've heard about it, and I'm like, no, don't even.
For those who don't know, so there's this guy named is it Sam Pepper? Sam Pepper?
Sam Pepper.
Okay. So Sam Pepper, do not search him up. Don't go watch his channel. Don't do that, please. Let me just explain to you what he does, and then I'll tell you, and then you'll know why you shouldn't be watching his videos. Essentially what he does is he goes around and he grabs women's posteriors.
Gooches.
Pinches them or whatever.
And
he basically tricks them into kissing him and stuff like that. And it is very, like, you'd think it's maybe it's harmless fun to a degree, but when you watch the videos, you see that these women are being kind of tricked into it, and a lot of them are really upset about it, and apparently there's some legal charges that are going to be laid against this guy soon, because somebody is really upset with what he's done. Now, the problem is he's doing these videos, and he's getting loads and loads of hits, loads and loads of views, and I know this isn't video game related, but I have a reason why I'm bringing this up.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
It's like it's bad. It's just bad stuff, and these guys are getting popular for it. And basically, I was told I should be against it and not talk and basically tell people it's bad. And I agree, it's bad, it's terrible. You shouldn't do that. This guy is a creep. I would never talk to him, let alone. I mean, really. If one of my friends did that in real life, I'd have like hey, dude, I'm gonna kick the crap out of you. What are you doing? Like, you shouldn't be doing that in public to anyone. And none of my friends do that. None of them do that. So I'm kind of glad about that. But essentially, why I wanted to bring it up was because people are playing the whole sexism angle against him now. Yeah. Because they're saying that if it was happening to a man, it would be okay. And I find it interesting that all this stuff has started to happen recently with basically starting with Zoe Quinn, and it's just been exploding where people are constantly talking about this stuff and dealing with these.
Not to interrupt you, Shane, but did you happen to see his second video, the one where he repeated the prank except women did it on guys? He made 3 videos. The first video was the one that got him in trouble. The second one was what everyone thought was a backtrack type of thing. Well, okay. The second one was, the reverse double standard thing, just to address people who would call it out as sexism because, women were doing it to men, and obviously it was scripted. And the third one was him explaining that, this was all to, raise awareness of harassment.
Well,
Because my friend is a victim of harassment. No one believes it. It's backpedaling to the highest degree.
I don't believe that. But like the thing with the fact that he did the second one and reversed the roles, that doesn't necessarily change everything. Because I mean, like, okay, as far as I know, well, yeah, no, because like as far as I know, sexual harassment does commonly happen to women. That's as far as I know. That is indeed a fact. However, that doesn't necessarily make the opposite way around, good.
It doesn't validate it. It doesn't make it any better.
It's like, oh, hey, here's a man getting sexually harassed. We're all good now, right? No, we're not. I mean,
it's just, you could go about it in so many better ways.
How about, hey, no one gets sexually harassed. GG, world. It's so easy. Just, hey, and no in general. How's about them apples? It's crazy. I was trying to think of something to say there, and I can't think of anything because it's just stupid.
It just makes everyone mad. That's all. It's just the real problem that I see with it is the fact that the culture that surrounds stuff like what Sam Pepper does is built entirely around Schadenfreude, and that's good. It isn't a healthy subject. Doing stuff like, comedy is misery. It's based in misery, but there's a point at which you just have to adhere to common decency.
Yeah,
you do that You do something like that on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and it's totally fine because it's scripted. It's designed to do that.
Yeah.
You do something like that in real life, you're weird.
So some guy just going to 7-Eleven buying a Slurpee, comes out of the store, gets his or her butt pinched. No, thank you. I just wanted to buy a Slurpee. Fuck you, man.
It's very it's. And the thing about It's Always Sunny is that it's very deliberate about explaining that its characters are irredeemable trash.
Yeah.
Which is great. That's perfect. That's exactly what you need to establish from the beginning, and then you can make whatever horrible jokes you want. So long as you establish it's in the realm of fiction and you shouldn't emulate the people in question, it's perfectly fine. But what Sam Pepper does is he laughs at when it happens in real life, and it's kind of terrible.
It really is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Most of the friends I've got that do YouTube videos and stuff, we all focus on games, and none of us do anything that bizarre and weird. So
yeah,
people on YouTube that I know do that. So
I sit in my room and talk about Shrek 2 for the Game Boy Advance and Rosario Vampire for no reason. That's what I do.
That's the way to go. That's the way to live, man.
Go me.
If I were to actually do a review, it would be about, like, a Game Boy game or a platform game. If I ever did a review.
Why not? Everybody does reviews. Find your way and make it better.
You gotta do Westerly Master Show.
Westerly Master Show.
You
Ironically,
fulfill my legacy. Continue my legacy after I pass on from this realm.
Yeah, see, ironically, though, I don't live on the West, so I am, in fact, an Easterly critic.
Oh my God, that's breaking the fourth wall, man.
Outrage, conspiracy.
Yeah.
Hashtag Gamergate.
Okay. Jesus.
All right, let's talk about something that isn't so terrible, and let's talk about something that's fun. So gaming.
Gaming. Yes, let's talk about that.
I will mention this because I think this has been the conversation that went on for a little bit, and everyone thought I was nuts. Now, I said 2 things. One, I said Bayonetta 2 was going to bomb, because that's not even a question for me. It's going to bomb.
Really?
Yeah. It's not even like that's not even a guess. I know that it's going to bomb.
Well, it kind of did. It didn't really bomb, but it's not selling too well in Japan.
Well, I
But I would
think
chalk that partially up to Hideki Kamiya being a gigantic douche.
well, the reason why I don't think it's going to work is not because it's a bad game. I have no issues
Oh,
with
no.
quality. It's based solely off the sales of the prior game, and how does that basically lend itself to the new game that's coming out? And the best I could tell is that the last game didn't sell very well, and you're limiting the platforms, and the Wii U platform is even has sold even less. And when I talked about that, Rich from Review Tech USA released a video the exact same day, basically saying verbatim the exact same thing. So I think a lot of people are thinking the same way I am about that. It's not that it's a bad game. I just think that it's just the last game didn't sell well, so we're probably going to see it not do too well. Now, what other people didn't do was I went the next step further and questioned the sales of Smash Brothers.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a tricky subject talking about Smash Bros. Because obviously it's going to sell like hotcakes for everyone owning a 3DS, and it will be a system seller.
And I'm also heavily biased, in case you couldn't guess. So I'm not really sure I could talk about this in the realm of fact, at least in the realm of fact.
Well, really, okay. So this is the thing. We see that it's selling incredibly well in Japan, right?
Yeah.
Now, the Japanese market doesn't always reflect the North American market. And what I'm saying, and I'm only saying this, not because I think Super Smash Brothers is going to be a bad game or anything like that. It's just we don't have too many examples of fighting games that have sold incredibly well on the portable platforms that exist, or that have existed.
That's true, but that's more a limitation of the medium itself, and not reflective on the games.
Yeah.
The Street Fighter, what is it? Street Fighter 3D or whatever isn't bad. It's just not mapped well, apparently, or something. I don't really know it too well because I haven't played it.
Well, it wasn't. Essentially, the idea was this. I came up with a couple of numbers, and I was taking a look to see exactly what would happen if it was on a specific platform. And the 3DS, I mean, it was, from what I could tell, I just couldn't grasp it selling incredibly, incredibly well. And I always knew the game was going to sell. I just didn't know by what, by how much or how little. And there is always a chance that remember, when it comes to Smash Brothers, that's always been a console exclusive game. It's never been sold on a portable platform. So you really wouldn't know how well that game would work or would sell on the 3DS, because basically we have no standard to...
At the same time, the popularity of Smash Bros. Is so prevalent that no matter what previous notions of its quality would be, and the fact that it has a really good demo is one thing that will help it immensely. The fact is, it's a Smash Bros. Game you can take on the bus, and people are going to be over it. I mean, it's all
yeah, the biggest thing I keep reading is I can play Smash Brothers while shitting. This is the
that's
greatest.
The best thing.
Well, if you had a
I don't
Wii U,
even have
you
to
could
bring
do
my
that as
TV
well.
in.
And I mean, I'm probably not going to do that because I mean, hey, when I go in there, I need my concentration. Nothing else exists but me in the toilet. Our never-ending conflict. I can't be distracted. But anything else,
the never-ending conflict. That's gonna be your autobiography, okay? Just that.
The never-ending conflict.
Schmester Show, a never-ending conflict.
It laughed at me by flushing. Oh, by flushing itself. All right, but so not necessarily toilet, like everyone keeps saying, but I mean something like a train ride or a bus ride. I mean, I know for a fact that because I have a 2-hour break in between classes at school. Come October 3rd, I know how I'm spending them.
Yeah, no, we're going to the common room, playing it with everyone.
I'm going to wherever in the building there are students. I'm just gonna look around the room, and everyone's gonna nod at each other. They're not gonna say anything. They're just gonna know. They're just gonna eye stare at everyone yeah.
It's gonna,
everyone's just slyly reaching into their pockets yeah, you know what we doing.
I remember
it's like a cowboy movie. It's a western, and it's high noon, and everyone has their hands next to their pockets, and they got the 3DSs, and it's
not to age me at all, but I was out front of my high school today, my old high school, because my old high school has a library built into it, and we were returning some DVDs and books and stuff like that, and I saw some kids out front using an iPhone and I think like an Android phone, and I was just like, man, when I was in high school, our phones still flipped open. Like that was
and they were the coolest things ever.
And not all the kids had them.
I got a flip phone.
No, but Moto Razors were cool. Like, I mean, they still look really cool.
Yeah, they definitely had a neat look to them. That was for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just so surprised, and then I thought about like what were the things I had in high school, and I remember there's like a couple of like I brought video games to high school and stuff like that, but to the extent that I've seen like that we have nowadays, it's not even in the same realm. Like I think what were the things that had come out? The DS had come out, the PSP had come out at that point, and I think the N-Gage it came out and it bombed. I think it came out and bombed when I was in high school. Yeah,
it looks like a phone that swallowed a Game Boy.
What's an N-Gage?
Piece of crap is what an N-Gage is.
Yeah, I mean, at least all the other handheld systems that didn't do so well were actually quality, like the Neo Geo Pocket. I mean, that thing was actually like amazing. But,
for the first time I got to actually play a Neo Geo Pocket, and
Which one?
Sorry?
Like which game? Which game?
Oh, I think it was just King of Fighters, was it? Just the miniature one?
Yeah, they're awesome. The fighting games on that, it was probably in like chibi graphics, right?
Yeah, it was like super deformed. The thing
they were so well made. Sorry, continue.
Games aside, because there's a lot of really neat games on that platform, but seriously, that D stick, like the actual like analog or the analog stick, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was amazing. I was so impressed by how it's like it's clicky, it's responsive, and nobody wanted to copy that. Like nobody else thought that was a good idea. Like nobody wanted to go, hey, maybe we should replicate this. Not a single person.
Full disclosure, I've never actually played one. I've only used it in emulators. Can you explain it, maybe? I'm actually going to look it up.
Think of it like, with an arcade, like when you go to the arcades, there's like the actual like arcade joystick, and it clicks when it moves into place.
Oh, I see what it looks like
so,
now. Okay, it's like a Neo Geo console controller built into
like
it.
that.
Yeah.
It actually feels like a portable Neo Geo.
Dude, that's awesome.
And
that's like way better. Why didn't they do that for the circle pad?
Oh my god, I was so impressed by that, and I was so shocked that nobody thought to just replicate that exact same design, because it feels great in the hands and it just clicks. Like it gives you this really nice sense of like of basically interactivity with the device.
Yeah, it looks like it. It's embedded in the actual like the plastic. It's good. It looks good. I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm bewildered at the fact that they didn't do it for the 3DS.
Yeah.
Because the circle pad's a piece of crap.
The circle pad's a piece of crap, and now the second analog stick or whatever it is just going to be worse, I guess. I'm not in the camp where I think Nintendo's designed great controllers and console stuff as of late, because I don't think they've been doing a good job.
I have a bevy of complaints against Nintendo because I hate literally every button on the 3DS. I just have to use them when I play games. I hate the cross pad. I hate the circle pad. I hate the face buttons, and I hate the shoulder buttons. I hate the configuration of the start and select buttons, and the home button can go fuck itself. But the screens are nice.
I actually don't really have... I don't have that much of a problem with the buttons, but the analog stick can go smoke a duck. But other than that, I don't think I've ever really been like, shit, these buttons, fuck.
God, it's so... I can't stand the D-pad either. It's all weird and clicky, and it shifts around if you move your thumb over it, and it's like, I don't know.
I'm actually, to be quite honest, so I am not a fan of the 3DS design. I think I've used a lot of portable devices in my life. I've seen lots of cell phones, lots of different kind of portable like computers, calculators, everything. I've seen a lot of stuff. I think the 3DS is one of the worst designs they could have ever done. The DS isn't a bad design, but it was a good idea which needed to be improved, and it never was
3DS.
improved. Yeah.
I would say, although I prefer the original DS in terms of its design, just because I grew up with it and I love how it looks, the DS Lite's probably the best designed handheld console ever made, because the buttons are nicely squishy, but also have some, some firmness to them, and they all feel solid, and the whole thing just looks well composed. The only thing I hate about it is the fact that the Game Boy Advance games stick out the bottom. But otherwise, it's pretty much perfect.
Well,
and if they'd replicated that design, that would have been the best.
Well, I think the way it basically goes for me. Oh, by the way, so I'm going to be playing Central Park, which is a very old pinball machine. But basically, my goal right now is I want to go over the counter. So it can only possibly give you 9,999 points, and it's my goal today to get at least 10,000 points. Just to show it going to the negatives.
I believe in you.
To believe in me. Anyway,
same thing.
Yeah, so the 3DS. One of my problems with it, at least initially, is that I don't believe it was designed kind of. Oh, wow! I don't believe it was designed well for a number of reasons. The 3DS basic model, the screen is just way too small. The XL, the screen is bigger, but the resolution on that screen is disgusting. Like, it's pixelated to hell, and I hate that look of it. So
it depends for me, because I haven't played enough games on it yet, but Shovel Knight looked fine to me.
Well,
that's a game that's meant to look like that.
Yeah, when it's a pixelated game, but when it's using the 3D abilities, I've never been a fan of that. And then the 3DS, like from a functional design point of how it encloses the thing, the top, I think it's the top or the bottom screen on my 3DS actually has kind of a bad little embed on it, like a push on the screen, which I'm really not a fan of, and that's simply because of the clamshell design and how if I put it in my pocket, it rubs up the top screen rubs up against the bottom screen, which I don't find funny at all. Like, I think that's a bad design, which you don't see happen from a lot of producers from video game companies that are not, like, it just felt like they weren't paying attention to the design when they were making the larger one. They were just like, well, let's just give it a bigger screen. That was it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's
bigger. Make it big. It's gotta be. No, that's not big enough. I gotta make it bigger.
Yeah, it's like Good Burger.
Yeah. Everyone has to live and die by Good Burger.
I've never watched that movie.
We would function so much better as a society if everyone lived life and died in life by the word of Good Burger.
Yes, the stoners, right, of course. Brilliant idea.
Yeah, man. You know it, bro.
I can't stand Good Burger. Like, I don't know.
Good Burger was ahead of its time.
Was it really?
Good Burger was Citizen Kane.
Yeah, no.
It was.
I've never seen Good Burger, but
it was the next
Good Burger.
Citizen Kane.
Good Burger was ahead of its time insofar that it predated so many terrible tween movies that are so rampant nowadays that everyone hates, including the teens themselves. They're just too busy self-pitying to know it.
Let me think. So, okay, I'll ask this: what is the worst movie you've ever seen that you just love? Like, it's just a movie you know everyone hates, but you love it and you can defend it.
God, that's a tough question.
I wouldn't necessarily say love, but I know a lot of people shit on Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. Anyone seen that?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Like,
God, the Scooby-Doo live-action movies are irredeemably bad.
The first one I hate too. The first one's like, no, please. The second one, I know it's bad. I know why it's bad, and I don't know why. I was just like, especially in comparison to the first movie, I'm like, you know what? I'll roll with this. I understand where we're coming from here. You're not good, but you know what? You get 2 stars out of 5, but they're sparkly. They're very sparkly though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't watched it in a while, so I do have to kind of go back. But I remember I remember I was like, this ain't complete shit. I like it to an extent.
Yeah, as far as movies that I know people have actively disliked, I don't know if they're universally disliked. I'm fairly sure this one isn't. But it's one that I love for several reasons, is Tron Legacy.
Yeah, actually, I do like Tron Legacy, and I think a lot of people really do hate that film.
The reason why I like it... Well, I mean, the people generally don't say they hate it because the music is Daft Punk, and no one hates Daft Punk, and the effects are really good. The reason why I like it, and it's not because of those two, because I had seen plenty of movies with good special effects, and I had never heard of Daft Punk, so I had never, had anything to compare it to. Was that it's a retelling of Paradise Lost, which is one of my favorite stories of all time, and not a lot of people understand that that's what it was going for.
That is an
It's
interesting
actually
perspective.
I mean, like, it is. It's a redemption. It's not really a redemption story. It's more like, there's the flawed anti-hero and, the good hero who screws everything up by, coming into the world. And it's very, it's poetically written, but it's acted poorly, and the plot and character development are reminiscent of Paradise Lost in that, they're very, staid and not very, expounded on. You have to rely on their performances, and the performances are not that great, except for, Jeff Bridges, because Jeff Bridges is great in everything.
Of course.
But yeah, no, I love Tron Legacy for a lot of what it does right, more than other people do.
I really do like that movie for a number of reasons. My dad showed me Tron when I was a kid, and it was one of those movies that a lot of my friends didn't know what it was, and they'd never seen it. And the only way a lot of them knew about it was from a joke that happens in The Simpsons at one point.
Yeah.
And that was it. And
I know exactly what you're talking about, too.
Yeah, and it's funny because
one.
it was one of my favorite movies, and it really, at one point it was because it's all about video games, so wouldn't Shane like it? But that really wasn't the reason. I liked it because it was doing a lot of cool things with stories. The visual effects was really neat as well, and I understood the story, which a lot of people at the time didn't seem to grasp when it came out, because I was more of a computer kid, so I understood terminology and stuff that they were saying, and I adapted to the world, I guess, a lot easier than people that were watching at the time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, stuff like that, the special effects stuff, I just don't get into on principle because I'm kind of obsessed with that. It's my major for college. So I don't get into that for fear of boring people to death on why I like it so much. But yeah, basically the same thing for me. Yeah, that was pretty much how I grew up. Watch Tron, watch, Star Trek, watch Star Wars. It was fun.
That was what you did.
That's how I grew up. I watched Tron. I watched absolutely nothing else but Tron. I live and die by Tron.
Oh, yes. Tron is love,
Good
Tron is
Burger.
life.
And Good Burger. Tron and Good
Jesus.
Burger. Tron cross Good Burger. 10 out of 10.
I would love to see... I would love to see you make an essay that relates Tron to Good Burger in some way or another, because I think that would be brilliant.
Listen, Professor, listen. Here's my topic, all right? Now, wait till I finish, okay? Don't judge. Listen, hear me out. I'm gonna write an essay. It's going to finally reveal to all of mankind the symbolic, religious, and political similarities between Tron and Good Burger. And you are going to give me an A+++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++ to automatically It's gonna be so good. I'm just gonna graduate from college on the spot, and I will live in my $1 million Playboy mansion. I will have 75 butlers, and I will die on. I will die of old age in a bedroom, an entire bedroom made out of money, all $100 bills.
Seems like a good way to go.
I see. I have this whole thing planned out. This is how the rest of my life's going. I have it planned out, mapped out. We're going. The operation is a go.
Well, I think for me, the movie, and I'm not saying I have a passing interest for this film, but Super Mario Brothers the movie is one of my all-time favorite movies. With no joke, I'm not watching it because I think it's bad, and isn't it so fun to watch because it's bad. I literally love the movie because of a number of reasons, and I can defend it, and I'm going to. I've been struggling on making an episode of positives about it because it's been like a kind of like an important movie to me. But ever since Bob Hoskins died, I wanted to make sure that I was doing it justice, and I wasn't just going, it's good because it has dinosaurs. Like, it's got to be a little bit more, you know.
Dinosaurs
don't
are
want to turn it
bad.
Just smash there.
Yeah.
As soon as you turn into me, it's all over. You start comparing Tron to Good Burger, you lose the audience.
You lose the audience.
That's
I would
gonna
love
be the
to
running.
see you.
That's gonna be the running joke for the stream. I apologize in advance.
I'm totally okay with that.
No, you're not. You're lying to yourself. Anyway, go ahead and continue. I'm sorry.
Well, the movie has a really, I actually think it has a really interesting plot. It's the biggest problem is everybody tries to look at the movie and basically it goes, oh, it's not like Super Mario Brothers at all, when it sort of is, and it kind of is doing what Super Mario Brothers is about. And I was in a car with a couple people, and I was basically discussing the plot, and I was like, look, tell me what the plot to Super Mario Brothers is, and then tell me how the movie isn't actually doing that plot, because the movie basically there really isn't a plot to the video game. Like, there really isn't one. How does Mario get into the Mushroom Kingdom? Like,
you interpret it as you wish, and the movie makers interpret it how they wanted to.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I haven't watched it. My brother says that I need to, and I'm not sure if I want to, but it seems interesting in terms of its concept. Like, don't they have, like, I can't remember. Don't they have, like, spring shoes that let them jump really high or something?
yes.
I don't know.
I'll be honest.
It's just, I mean, like, I like how they stipulate on that kind of thing.
There's a lot of stuff they do to the movie to make the story work in such a way that it at least is referencing the source material, but I think a lot of people tend to hate the movie for a lot of the wrong reasons. So that's the thing with that. I don't really believe the movie is terrible. I think it's got a lot to offer, but you know, I'm not looking at it. I like what I'm going to do with positives when I go to. I've recorded. This is funny. Okay, so a lot of people don't really realize what I'll do for an episode of positives, and positives. Super Mario Brothers the movie has been shot twice now, or 3 times, I think. Fully shot, edited, pretty much 3 times.
Wow.
And every time I finished it, I've scrapped it and I've gone back. I've never done that with the positives really before. There's one episode that I screwed up and everything was blurry, so I had to go and shoot that again. But Super Mario Brothers, the movie, means so much to me that I need to make sure I don't screw it up. And every time I looked back at the episode that I'd shot, I didn't like the quality. I thought I wasn't selling it properly. I wasn't really getting the idea across of what the film's worth. So that's been an issue that I've been trying to solve, and I'm almost there. But I decided to take a break from doing the episode because after you shot and recorded something a bunch of times, you kind of want to hold off for a sec.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've been there, boy. I got you.
See, it's funny that you mentioned that. I'm kind of in the same way myself. See, when I started the series that I was working on, which is portability, I did it with the intent of wanting something to pad my video making, portfolio, that kind of thing. But I also wanted to do justice to the games I liked as a kid, which was obviously portable games. But none of the games that I had done so far, and that continues, are games that I played as a kid. Literally none of them, because I wanted to get some reviewing chops on games that I didn't have emotional connections to before starting on something that I did.
Yeah.
And then I just stopped wanting to do portability, and now I'm trying to figure out what I wanted to do. But I still want to do those games that I intended to start with. So yeah, it's just kind of a paradigm. I mean, you do get dissatisfied with stuff, especially with your own work, I've found. So yeah, I mean, I can understand kind of what you're coming from, Shane. So yeah, you do what seems best.
Yeah, it can be difficult. I mean, the everything that I'm doing with Rerez. Oh, jeez, I'm trying to do this Central Park thing, but it is hard. But everything I've been doing with Rerez recently has been I've been trying to get a lot more episodes out there. So at least I can promise this for the next at least 8 weeks. There's going to be new rant videos coming out every Monday.
Yeah.
I went out and shot a bunch. So I did my best to talk about a bunch of things and make it interesting so that people can watch. I'm not afraid to stand in front of the camera in the basement and talk as well, but I really want to make an effort to shoot some stuff and make it look a little bit better than normal. And it's a little added bit of touch, walking around to do these things. And I don't think I try my best to get the rant sounding properly whenever I can, but it doesn't always work. Sometimes I'll say something out loud and then I'll look back at the footage and I'll go, wow, that was a stupid thing to say. And then I cut it and I don't like it, but there's been some instances. And what's funny is when we were going around shooting some of these rants, there was some kids that yelled at the camera when we were walking by.
I hate those fuckers.
Oh my god.
I hate those. Yeah, hi mom. I'm like, fuck your mom.
No. They said something. I really don't know what it was. And then
I'm sure they didn't say that, but it's like, I don't know. It's usually when people who do that kind of stuff, they're like talking to a relative, and they're like, yo, fuck your relative.
Oh yeah. It's not like it's a live broadcast. I mean, I don't know what
they don't get that.
Yeah, so they're just like, oh, I'm going to be on it. No, you're not. You're really not. Somebody yelled at me from a passing car.
Am I going to be on Rerez TV?
Like they even know who I am. But yeah, I was...
well, hey, don't sell yourself short now.
But we were literally...
You're so popular.
Oh, yeah. But we were walking by a car, and we were just doing this little rant by the car. And this guy rolls down his window and he screams at the car as it's passing by, or screams at us as we're walking by. And I'm just like, "Okay, why did you do that?" Because it's like you're not in the episode at this point. You'd be kidding yourself. You think you're even going to be in the episode, and I'm just like, what's the point of that? Like, there's no point. And I guess he wanted to feel proud of himself, so. Congratulations, driving your 1986 Civic down a road and screaming at people. I
yelled at a camera.
God, my self-esteem is going through the roof now.
Yeah, that's what it felt. It felt like that. It felt like they were just super excited about. It's like, man, I feel good about myself after yelling at the camera. And to be quite honest, it doesn't piss me off because I just go, okay, cut the camera and we're gonna shoot that all over again. Like it doesn't. I don't shoot these huge ass 30-minute rants on camera or anything. It doesn't bother me. So
if it was like 30-minute rant and it's like the last 10 seconds were crucial, like you dropped the mic and then you're about to wrap up 29 minutes and 50 seconds into the recording, some guy just comes in and goes and just makes random noises and you're just like, well.
Oh, we do something like that. If I were to ever shoot a 30-minute rant, which. Oh my god, but if I were to ever shoot a 30-minute rant, I would not shoot it anywhere where someone could get at me.
Yeah, I know, I was about to say.
Yeah.
That'd be a bad idea, because otherwise, Shane Lewis is going to appear in the paper tomorrow on the wanted section.
A man was killed yesterday, stuffed into to a suitcase, and sold to a local flea market. Yeah.
Yes.
When asked why he did this, he had this to say: "It was 30 fucking minutes. I was so close." Yeah.
That could be taken so out of context. It's hilarious.
Well, I mean, yeah, but whatever. Who cares? All right.
I mean, there are people though, like Alpha Omega Sin, who I immensely respect for the ability with which they're able to, effectively communicate during a rant.
It's
but
beyond. It's a
makes
skill
it easier
and
on
a talent.
himself.
Yeah.
But I actually would like to shake his hand, and I hope he comes to Magfest, because I know you know him.
Yeah. I think he's coming to Magfest. I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
I'd be surprised if he didn't.
Right. So, but the thing is, though, I mean, like, he makes it easier on himself by taking stuff inside, and not having to deal with the people on the outside. Because I can only imagine what horrors would happen if someone were to interrupt one of his rants.
Do you know what the horrors is? Honestly, you know what happened? It's him killing somebody, like taking a bat to them. He is a tough dude. Like I wouldn't. It's like seriously, if you see Alpha Omega Sin walking down the street and he's doing a rant on the street, and you try to be, funny with him on camera, run as fast as you can.
I would hate that. Like it's people like that, and I don't know, like Justin Silverman, who I actually live near. That I live near enough to him. Like he lives in Maple Shade, I live in Cherry Hill, and I live close enough to him that I'm always slightly afraid that on the off that he might be in the area, I accidentally end up in one of his videos and piss him off.
Oh no,
he seems like an okay guy though. I mean, like just in general. But
I've had a bunch of conversations with him. He's not like a scary guy or anything. Those guys.
Oh no.
I have no idea the energy and time it takes for them to do all the episodes and shows they do. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
What, Silvermania and what's it called? The one they used to have
did
with the other guys.
Well, what did they do? They did the
Underbelly show.
To be honest, I had never really watched Underbelly. The one I'm thinking of is
Jags?
Not Jags. Well, it just the Silvermania show, but they had produced this independent like short film trailer.
Oh yeah, that was great. Paperboy
the movie.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
so
I was
amazing.
just like, dudes, I don't even like that. They sent it to me.
Paperboy, the hard way.
Yeah.
It was so funny. I mean, I loved it so much.
They sent it to me. I think like about a day before it came out or something. As soon as it was a rough cut, and I was like, oh my god, this is gonna blow up. Like I can't even imagine how far this is gonna get. It was fantastic. I was really impressed by that. And it gets everything right. It's a reference to the game. It's a reference to those B slasher flicks from back then, and it's perfect.
Great.
It's so perfect.
I mean, it's viscous and visceral, and it's very well done. I mean, I don't know how they did it. Did you actually talk to him about how they did it? Because it looks like they bought a bunch of cameras from the 90s and made it.
To be quite honest, I believe it's mostly an After Effect thing, because the guys, they're filmmakers, right? So they have like a big skill for things.
Yeah, that's true.
Just to be honest, though, that they can't do that every week. You know what I mean? Like that's not easy. By the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I recommend going to just Google, type Paperboy the Hard Way, or Paperboy 3 the Hard Way.
It's so funny.
It's amazing. Like it's just.
What? Wait, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I'm playing the game. That's why I'm kind of just.
All right. Because what I was gonna say was, I think I'm not quite sure of like the inner workings, but what I think part of the way they might have gotten that effect was should I had this? It was I think at some point they probably like somehow burned the footage onto like a VCR tape or something. I'm butchering this up a lot, but I know it's something like something like you can put footage like on your TV or something, and you can. I'm
see,
sorry.
what I'm thinking.
I'm sorry.
What I'm thinking they did.
I know I'm rambling,
was
but
transcribe.
I'm thinking of this exact process in my mind right now, but I can't get it into words. Geez.
I think I know what they did.
Corey Carlson does it with
Yeah, like him. I'm like I have the process in my head, but I can't put it into words. I'm like, shit. What is a
Basically, what I thought they
VCR? I
did.
don't even
Yeah.
know.
What I thought they did was take the DVD and then re-record it on analog with like a VCR recorder, and then just re convert that into like a DVD, but low quality, pixelate it, not pixelate it, but give it that VHS quality because it's a very specific thing.
Yeah, it's a very specific look for sure.
Yeah, I honestly hate it, but it's as far as an effect goes, like. I respect them for accurately reproducing it. It's just not my thing. But I mean, with small stuff like this, obviously, it's more endearing than annoying.
For sure.
So
for sure.
I think that's good.
Well, it's like remember they're going for that look. It's intentional.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I love about that short is whatever
Yeah.
you see on that short, it's done intentionally. It's not done because they're screwing up. They're doing it because that's the specific look that they want. And I'm thinking My Life in Gaming. They do a series that is basically old how-to videos for how to like beat certain levels in like older video games, and they do it and they make it look like for new video games, but they give it that quality, and they do a fantastic job. And I've spoken to them on how they do that, and they are doing a lot of stuff. It's not a very simple, just like one straight thread. They're going through a lot of processes where I promise you, the method that they're doing, I have background experience in video editing. I know how to edit on several different platforms. I can edit analog film on a Steinbeck. I've got that like experience from school.
Really?
Just because that's what I did. But even all that, I promise you, I couldn't do what Corey and I'm blanking on the other guy's name from the show. Corey and Ty. I could never ever do what they do because the amount of time and skill it takes for them to do that is astonishing. But the equipment that they're using is simply completely out of my reach. And believe me, they are using a specific set of equipment to achieve those really, really cool looks.
I wasn't sure whether or not they used stuff like that they may have gotten from like college or something, because I know that because I'm going to Drexel right now. As a matter of fact, I just started like 3 days ago, and they have the most amazing equipment. They have a full motion capture lab for video game design. It's amazing. And I can only imagine what they would have if they were a film school. But, I mean, it just seems... I mean, they had their own little studio when they had an Underbelly, and I'm just kind of amazed by that. I think that is probably the setup that a lot of the gamer sites, people, stuff like that, like Underbelly Show, Silvermania, obviously, people like The Best Gamers. I don't know if you watch them or not.
I don't think I have.
Funny, but bitter and to the point. And also, make fun of literally every game reviewer ever, especially IGN. They're very blunt, but they're also extremely funny. But they have this very specific way of... It's very professional, but you know that it's all, it's put together perfectly, but it's also, very casual. It's hard to explain. It's like being lazy, but sort of like actively trying to be lazy. I don't know.
I get that. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's that would probably be the reason. Like, I guess for you guys who are older, stuff like
I'm not that much older.
movie.
Yeesh. I'm not ancient. I'm not ancient yet.
Jesus.
I'm almost
You're
there,
probably-
but I'm not there yet.
Okay, well, regardless of that, I would guess that for me, stuff that I see secondhand that is based on older stuff, like B-movies and things like that, are what would get me into the whole, culture of it, rather than watching the original ones, which I think is, I don't know. It's kind of different. Because I don't really have much experience with that, so that's what I take away from it. It's, it's all secondhand, but it
Well-
also is, like, I feel like I should know what they are referencing.
Well, for me personally, I did watch like a lot of. I was watching a lot of weird movies and stuff like that when I was a kid, and it really wasn't because they were new at the time, because they weren't. But what I was watching was a lot of stuff that I was catching late at night on TV, or in some instances, when I knew I wanted to go to film school, I started to be like, okay, look, if I'm going to go to film school, I better watch some movies. Because if I don't like the, I knew that if you like film, you got to watch film. Because if you're somebody that goes, well, I want to be a filmmaker, and all you've ever done is, I don't know, watch Die Hard, then dude, you don't want to be a filmmaker.
Yeah.
You know, like a filmmaker that just does one style and genre forever will hate their job and will hate what they do, because they'll just get so bored and complacent in what they do. So for me, I was watching all these other, I was trying to watch all these different genres and kind of get a scope and idea for what people wanted, what the style was. And I was watching, I watched Evil Dead. I watched horror movies that I otherwise would never have watched. I was watching black and white films and, films that didn't have sound, silent films.
Excuse me a sec. I'll be right back. I gotta go quickly get something.
Sure. And I would do stuff like that. So I watched Metropolis, which
I haven't seen that. I need to watch Metropolis.
You really do. The special effects still stand out as some very impressive stuff for its time. And
stuff like that. Yeah, I need to get back into that. Haven't watched Citizen Kane in forever.
Yeah, I think of the best. One of the coolest things about Metropolis for me is that it's not the way that they perceived the future or this fantasy world is so different than how anyone else would have. It's got almost a steampunk feel to it, but it's not.
Fritz Lang. That's expressionist. Am I getting that right?
It might be, actually. I kind of don't remember.
Yeah.
But there is one of the movies I had watched from that was his was called M. I think it was just called M, which has the guy from a very good German actor. He is from Casablanca. You despise me, Rick. That guy.
I can't remember. You have to remember that my movie knowledge is fairly extensive, but nowhere near a film student's, and it's missing
that's okay.
several key points. I've never seen Casablanca, and I up until recently had never seen The Godfather. So
that's all right. You don't have to see everything to know everything. But yeah, it was. I
do need to see everything.
But yeah, this guy, fantastic performance. I believe how it works is he either raped a child or he killed a child. And
okay, yeah, it's Peter Lorre.
It's Peter Lorre, thank you. And it's a dark film, but oh my god, the performances in it are fantastic. And it's a German talkie, so it's they speak in it, but it's one of the first talkies that Fritz Lang had made. It came after Metropolis, and it's just a really, really cool film to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm having a look at. Well, I'm not going to look at the plot synopsis because I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, Peter Lorre is just weird. I mean, I've seen a couple of movies that he's been in, and he seems really cool. Just insofar as like older actors, because I haven't really built up a repertoire of actors that I actively pursue the movies of.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he seems interesting enough. I like the characters that he played. God, it makes me so angry because there's so many movies that he's been in that I've never seen. I've never seen The Maltese Falcon. I've never seen I haven't seen even a tenth of Alfred Hitchcock, even though I love it so much. But I don't know. But yeah, I should probably get back into that. M, you say, and Metropolis. Yeah, that's.
They are good movies to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the kind of person you wouldn't have to I don't know. It's just the kind of stuff just interests me to no end, and I'm actually it seems like something I would be able to get into, the whole film thing. But I can't act. That's the thing.
Not everyone can.
Yeah, it is mostly lack of ever trying. So I don't really know, but I'm just going to assume that.
And the way I feel about film, same way I feel about movies and stuff like that. And it's kind of funny enough, but I think, or sorry, the way I feel about film is the same way I feel about video games, because there are a lot of video games out there that are older that are well worth looking into and watching, and I think there's a lot of people out there that don't realize it, and it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Like there are video games I've played that I don't know if other people have played them. And I mean, I know other people have played them, but if I search them up on YouTube, there's no footage of them. And it sucks, but they're really, really interesting games, and they're worth showing off, but people don't know them. And there's an issue I find on YouTube where if I were to make a video about a game that's kind of hard to come by and not really well known, a lot of people wouldn't search it and they wouldn't know about it. So they have to know who I am to want to watch that. So because they have to trust that I'm going to be talking about something interesting, and if I don't, then kind of sucks.
Yeah, you have to have a position of power before you can start, doing the whole noblesse oblige thing with, giving less credited works of art a decent look. Something for which I will never forgive people like PewDiePie for not taking advantage of that, but whatever. That's his prerogative.
Well, he has. I mean, there's a bunch of games he's looked at that have just been made popular because he's looked at them.
Yeah, there are, but I mean, it feels like he could do more. But then again, I can't dictate his life, so I can't really have any business
to be quite honest, I have a different perspective over what gamers are, and I don't feel like he's actually a gamer.
No, he's not. He's he is a reactionary type of guy. He just plays video games because they are a means to an end for him, which is fine.
And not even to the point where I don't hate the guy, nothing. I really don't care. But it's like
no one has enough information on him or personal experience. You can't make a judgment call like that.
Yeah, but for me, it's just like honestly, I just see somebody that just enjoys playing games, but I don't see the passion for knowing more about them. I think that's what it is. And I can see that in his work, that he just doesn't have the same kind of, well, definitely the same kind of passion that some of my contemporaries have. Mm-hmm. Which I can say contemporaries now, which is cool. But
yeah,
it's the truth. It's just there's just not a lot of people that I know that are really that watch what he's doing, or that he watches what he's doing and goes, oh, well, I think people will care a lot about this. It's like I don't get that from him. I don't get that kind of that passion or drive or clarity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand. It's it depends on the person, and I mean, generally, people who share the passion like that are the people who will play video games and actively point out what they like and don't like about it. Whereas PewDiePie and people like him generally just stick to reacting to the game as they go. On the emotional terms rather than the mechanical or artistic terms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just a different kind of person. And that's fine. I mean, it just so happens that it worked out superlatively for him because people are more apt to, do that kind of thing.
Yes, that is true.
But yeah, where are we going with that? I can't remember.
Basically just playing games that people really don't know about and trying to get them interested in them. Mm-hmm. And it really...
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
there's so
can't...
many, like, Atari games and stuff, specifically Atari, is the one that I think not a lot of people have done some of the better games on. I mean, like, I've seen people who reviewed Yar's Revenge or something, but I mean, then you have the interesting games like Wizards of War and stuff like that.
There definitely are quite a bunch of Atari games that people really haven't covered, but I feel even then they get covered in a weird way where it's more or less being negative about the games and not really talking about the games like they're cool, but talking about the games like, oh, these things are really old. That's why I like I was going to say TJR. That's not the right person. That's why I like LGR, Lazy Game Reviewer. Because he
I love LGR.
He covers. I've had a couple conversations with him, and him and Pushing Up Roses, and talking about older games with them is really awesome. And they know their weight, and it's great to just talk to stuff as the people that know about these classic games, and they care about them, which it's genuine, and I feel that comes off in their videos, where you feel like there's an actual passion and a care about what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And I've been struggling to try and get that across my own work, but man, they do it effortlessly. They just know what they're talking about perfectly. And I love that. I really do.
I honestly would love to talk to both of them, because LGR is one of the most professional and well done shows on YouTube as far as video games go. I would love to have a conversation with him about it, even though I'm not nearly as well versed in video games as he is, just because he is so genuine on that, and I would like to be, but I feel like I would have to learn it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that.
He just seems so, I don't know, I would love to talk to him, because he seems so awesome. And it was nice that he was one of the first, like, 10 or 20 people, you included, that actually looked at my videos and thought they were, worth something. So, yeah. It was nice. It was just nice.
Well, I think there's a lot of really good producers out there that don't
I have returned. What have I missed?
Welcome back. We're just talking about video producers and stuff.
Oh, sweet.
YouTubers in general. I think, just off the top of my head, of people I like, so I really do like watching Alpha Mega Sin's rants and listening to his opinions and stuff. I like really, I think there's kind of a drive and a confusion for this kind of stuff. People seem to hate, people seem to hate, I think watching what they just call vloggers. And it's not about, or vloggers, yeah. It's not about basically. Oh, sorry, I was just trying to focus on what I was doing. It's not about somebody hating what Alpha Mega Sin does. They basically just don't like the fact that they exist because they, for lack of a better word, they get paid to just talk about games. Yeah. And they think that it's stupid that somebody would watch them do that. But that's not. I honestly, the reason why people watch that, which, to be quite honest, for a while there, I didn't even understand. Why would people watch somebody sitting there talking about it? And I understood what it was. For the longest time, I was watching journalistic game reviews, journalistic reports, and stuff like that, and I wanted more. And what I would do is I would read the feedback. I'd read the portions at the bottom, the comments, and I would see what those people were saying, and that would give me a perspective into what the general audience, what people like me were thinking and what they were saying, because they're not afraid to say something that may not be that journalistically safe to say, something that is kind of an opinion but has maybe a little bit more of a personal feel behind it. For instance, a really good thing with this is one website was basically talking about video games that are a new video game controller, and they were showing it off and talking about all the technical aspects, how it was functioning and everything. And somebody in the comments to this website that I was at said, "I can never use that controller because I don't have good use of my pinky." That was it. And I never thought about that. And then when I looked at the controller a little bit more, it gave me a different perspective that this controller was actually improperly designed because it didn't utilize all fingers properly. And it was a different little thing that I never really thought about had it not been for that comment section. And vloggers like Rich from Review Tech USA and Alpha Mega Sin and Razor Fist, any of those guys and women who do blogging, they all have an opinion that is really genuine. And seriously, I've talked to Alpha Mega Sin a number of times. I've just briefly had a correspondence with Review Tech USA, Rich from Review Tech USA, and I'll be honest, he really, these guys are not getting paid off, and just because I know that and I know everyone's like, oh, they're getting paid off. Well, I know they're not getting paid off, and I like that, and it makes me trust them even more, and that is something you can't. That's something you just can't buy. That's something you can't find anywhere else.
People like Alpha Omega Sin are people that I could honestly say if he had a Patreon, I would probably donate to it, but I have a feeling that he would never open one on the basis of too many people have abused it. And
it's been getting really bad with people abusing Patreons lately, yeah.
Wait, what do you mean? This is the first I'm hearing of it.
Like, there are people that are making Patreon accounts and not uploading videos. Like, not doing what they not doing what they state they will be doing in their videos.
It's basically like a failed Kickstarter. It's like Double Fine. It's exactly like what Double Fine is doing, which is a shame because it breaks trust and it also breaks down a good relationship that could be copied by other people who are worth it. People that put effort into their work. It makes it doesn't. It helps break down legitimization of stuff like what content creators on YouTube do and what their personal worth is, because people like that drag down the rest of us, and that is something that I can get extremely angry over. Like, it makes me actually violently mad that people exist like that.
Yeah. Because I was thinking of opening up a Patreon myself at some point, and I'm actually like I'm really trying to look into like worthwhile rewards, because I don't want to open this thing and then be like, oh fuck it, now I'm getting paid, man. I want to actually like not fuck this up. I want to open this thing and be like, yo, you give me money, I'm gonna give you awesome shit, yo.
Honestly.
And, I don't know why are there people who think it's like I can just open this and take money and run. Like, I don't get
I consider it a breach
mindset.
of just politeness, honestly. For me, it all boils down to whether or not you're just polite with people.
I consider it butt fuck. He's a butt fuck.
Yeah.
Hashtag butt fuck. I don't know. Whatever.
To be fair, honestly, there's a lot of people out there that are doing Patreons properly. It is my own personal belief, okay, that I will not do a Patreon. I will never do a Patreon. I've thought about it. The only way I would ever do something like that is if it was there needs to be something more to it. Naturally, I'm the kind of person that I'm an introvert for the very longest time. I've only recently started to try to get away from that and be more like outgoing and stuff. But I know that if I have this flow of money coming in, well, hey, they don't need a new video from me. I feel that when people are watching my videos, there's advertisements on those videos, and that's payment. That's paying to watch one of my videos. And I know it's not always a lot of money, and really, I get it, right? That's why people have to do the patrons, because you don't get a lot of money from YouTube. I get it. I really do. Believe me, I'm there too. But I feel that commitment to watch or share a video because you like what I'm saying or you like what I'm doing, that kind of commitment is beyond what was even asked. Because I ask nothing from the viewers, and I want to make sure that if I ever do anything like that, there needs to be something happening. I'm sending out shirts, or that money that comes in is being donated to a charity or something. I just don't feel right about that. Just being paid simply to do nothing, and it's not that people that are getting paid from Patreon are not doing nothing, because they are. I personally just don't think that's the kind of thing for me.
You can't reconcile it with your own beliefs, which is perfectly fine.
I kind of see where you're coming from. Like, what the main reason I'm considering it is, as a college student, I fucking need money like all the time.
That's exactly the same thing
So,
as me.
I mean, like, if I wasn't in college, I'd be like, what's a Patreon? Now I'm like, oh my god, Patreon, yes, thank you. But like the thing that you brought up with getting paid to do nothing, which I mean, that's a as far as I know, you can set it so that it's like you can set it so that. Yeah, I mean, like, you can set it. A couple people on Patreon are doing this, I think, but you can have it set so that you can only charge your patrons after
Patrons?
you make them. That's what. If I might have to relook it up, but if I remember correctly, that's what donators on Patreon are called. I might be wrong about that, and if I'm right, it does still sound stupid, but bear with me. Anyway, Anyway, but okay, so donators, whatever. We'll use a regular, not stupid word. So you can have it set so that you can only charge your donators after you make a video. Or you can do it like monthly, but I'm not going to do it monthly because my upload schedule is very random, and it usually takes me like a month and a half to do videos. So I don't want to charge on a timed basis. I want to do it like when I actually made a thing. Here's here it is. Now I will accept the money because I earned it, because here's a video. But like if it ever got to a point where, whoa shit, I'm starting to do a lot of videos all the time, then I would probably change it accordingly, because then everyone would get charged left and right, like video. But I don't know. I'm really looking into it. I'm trying to be as fair and humane, and also be able to afford shit in college as possible.
Oh yeah, no, I get that. I mean, right now I'm thinking about the tip jar that YouTube is going to implement and what that means and what that's going to do. Because if that offers something different, then I think I'll be very excited about that. But I don't know. I'm a simple kind of guy. I don't really I find that somebody paying to okay, here's something. Lately, I've been going to conventions. People have been meeting me, asking me to sign things, talk to me. And they don't go to conventions just to see me. There's other people going there, obviously. But there's been a couple people that have seen me, and they've said hi, had me sign things or whatever it is. They've asked me to sell shirts and things, and I got that together recently. So I'm actually going to be selling shirts at the convention I'm going to for the very first time. But I've done it in a way to make sure that I'm not charging a lot of money, because honestly, a conversation I had with Alpha Mega Sin about selling shirts that are cheap and not cheap quality, but cheap to buy and not like expensive, and I really like that point of view. So I'm trying to do that exact same thing. I see where all that is going. And I know that there's a couple of these conventions where people go to, like people that are guests, and they will basically sell a postcard and sign it. And I get it, right? I know why people would do that, because some people are more popular than others and they can sell for that stuff. But for me personally, it's like, you know what? I don't care how big I get. I'm not gonna. I can't imagine selling my signature. Like
like
part of that is weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like I agree. I think something like my signature, I think that'll always be free. I don't think I would ever charge that. That sounds weird.
And I mean, I've met a couple of celebrities and stuff like that, and sometimes at conventions, sometimes not. But I've never stood in line to get their autograph, because if I'm going to meet a celebrity and talk to them, I want to talk to them like a person, not like, oh, you're my friend. I just want to talk to them like a regular person, not having the time limit there, and you got to finish talking to this guy because you're one out of 100 people in this lineup that wants to talk, and I kind of can't do that. A part of me I can't allow myself to be that person, and yeah, it's a weird thing, but that's just how I feel about that. I don't think it's right for me personally to ever want to charge for anything like that.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, something like signature. Signature is like that's silly. If you want to voluntarily, give me moolah when I entertain you with like this huge thing I put a lot of time into, then it's like, yeah, I understand that. But then it's like, if you're paying me a similar amount of dough just so I can scribble my name down on a piece of paper really fast, that's weird to me. That is a bit weird to me.
Yeah. Somebody just mentioned something, a Super Ghostbuster. Apparently, if you have something like 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, you can have a paid subscription where people have to pay monthly to view your videos. I have that option on my channel. I can do that, but that will never happen.
I don't know a single YouTuber, maybe outside of like YouTube channels for
Disney
TV shows. Yeah, outside of YouTube channels that are representing a TV brand or whatever, outside of that, I don't know a single YouTuber who uses that feature.
Of course not. It's immoral.
I do not know a single fucking person. I don't get that feature. Because again, the thing about Patreon is that it's completely optional. You can continue to watch my videos and not donate to that. Paid subscription is like, hey, you want to watch me? Fuck you, give me money. That's stupid. I mean, like, optional money, I'm like, hey, it's optional, it's your call. You can't yell at me, man.
I understand, right, why it exists, because there are people that produce content that they need to get immediate money back from. I understand that. It's just personally, I don't know. Okay, let's say I started charging my 10,000 whatever I'm at, 10,000 subscribers, for $5 each to be subscribed to me. How does that benefit me other than the money I get from that, the immediate money I get from that? That's not going to grow. That's not going to... People that can't share my videos with their friends. It could possibly create a black market where people are just, sharing the videos any way they can, which I don't think is good. I mean, that's just me, though. I think it's kind of a... I don't know. I find that to be very elitist. Personally, for me, Rerez, no matter what, if anyone's going to pay for Rerez, it's going to be the advertisers. It's going to be companies that pay for it. I am never, ever, ever, ever having any issues with this in my head. If I could give Rerez away for free and find some way to earn money from it, that'd be great, but that's not reality. Reality is you have to get advertisers to back the show. So advertisers, don't bug me. With YouTube, it's beautiful because on YouTube, I can actually state who I want to allow to advertise on there to a degree. So you can say, I don't want cigarette companies advertising on my stuff, which, to be quite honest, I've never ever seen that on YouTube to begin with. But I don't know what company is advertising Rerez. And there's a bunch of companies that they throw advertisements up on the top for YouTube, but I'm never aware of who it is. And I like that. I love that I don't know, because I don't want to care about who's advertising on there. I don't want to care about improving them or making them happy. It's for my general interest for how Rerez does, it's about keeping the audience happy and nothing else. And that makes me more happy than anything else. It puts me in a really great position with YouTube and with the audience.
Yeah. It's all about the viewership. I mean it's all about the people that think that your stuff is worth watching, and that's what it always should be. You should have the interests of the people that you're trying to entertain in mind.
And yes, somebody mentioned the purchase subscriber thing on Twitch. Let me be honest, I'm really, really new to Twitch. I don't get the payment thing for it, because what I'm doing right now, I'm only doing it because people have asked me to do it in the past and they want to talk to me and stuff like that, and that's great. I just opened up a YouTube page called Rerez Live, which, when we're done talking, this is going to be up on Rerez Live. There may be people listening to this on Rerez Live. The only reason I have that YouTube page is because I don't want to conflict with the message and what the design of the original Rerez channel is all about. And Rerez Live exists just to upload these videos, because apparently Twitch deletes videos after a while, and they have no interest in being...
You can save your video as a highlight, and you can make the highlight as long as you want. You can make like the whole video or the like a part of the video. So you can save, like, as far as I know, I mean, you should be able to. I did it a couple of weeks back, but you can save a highlight of, like, the whole stream, and it should be on your highlights page on Twitch, I think.
Well, there you go.
But
yeah, Twitch is weird.
Rerez Live is fine, too, because not a lot of people will specifically go to Twitch for that. They might just be like, I'm already on YouTube, I may as well do it here. Yay.
Yeah, I honestly didn't care about it. Everyone was telling me that there was issues with basically keeping the videos up on Twitch forever. So I was like, well, okay, well, to be honest, I did a Positives Live already. And that Positives Live video was completely gone. It was already deleted. And at that point I was like, what I want to do on Twitch isn't just me talking all the time. I want to do episodes like Positives live. I'm gonna get people in like the studio basement here, and I'm gonna interview them. I'm gonna get a camera guy. I'm gonna get people doing live editing on the show and everything. You know, you're gonna see that kind of stuff, and on purpose. So, I kind of want the show to be like that, and I want Rerez Live to be just a different facet of what you would see on a regular Rerez episode, just a little bit different. And I like the idea of having the audience interact with the show, which is something I can't do with Rerez regularly because it's pre-recorded and, you know, edited and stuff. So, yeah. I mean, I'm excited about the possibilities of what I'll be doing with Rerez Live, and it was never, ever, ever my intention to just double, make 2 channels just to double the amount of money I was getting in for whatever, because that's not really why I did that. But, you know. It's it's different. Somebody on Twitch suggested I make a second channel to save all those things, and it honestly worked out. It seems to be fine. I just click one button, it uploads, and cool. I'm happy with it.
Yay! Happy face. Yeah, yeah. Money,
but
man.
I want to say this too. Rerez Live does not mean that I'm going to stop paying attention to Rerez.
Well, of course, yeah.
But I think I got messaged a couple of times. People were really upset because they thought that I was just going to be giving up Rerez altogether to do live streams.
I don't know why. Every time anyone opens a second channel that is very clearly a secondary on the side, like, hey, I just have this thing laying around over here. I'll shit out a video every now and then. There we go. Everyone's like, no, this means you're not doing your primary channel even though you said like 500 times, no, dude, this is still my primary channel. It's every time. It never fails. Someone opens up a second channel, it's the end of the world. Primary's gone. Bye-bye. What the frick?
That's pretty much been it. Honestly,
Right.
I think this September I was supposed to have a lot more videos done, and I ran into some production issues. But I'm ironing them out, and I'm getting a lot of stuff finished. So I'm not too worried right now about what's going to come out for Rerez, and I honestly think a lot of people are going to be very, very, very excited with what happens with Rerez next. Because I've never, ever, ever planned this far out in advance as many videos as I'm planning, as I have in store right now. Which it was just like... I mean, just the amount of rants that I have in store is insane, because that was never my intention to have like more than 4 rants in store. Now that I've got 8 going at a time, it's just, it's crazy.
We got Alpha Omega Rerez over here.
Well, not like that. I can never be as good as a ranter. That's actually why I call them Rerez Talks, because I don't think they're as good. They're definitely not as good as what Alpha does.
Yeah, no, I didn't like actually mean that, but just when you hear the word rant, you're like, oh hey, we of course have to draw the comparison. It's vital. His name is tied to the word.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, but yeah, it's a YouTube game, and the online video game is. I'm sorry, the online game is a tricky game. You gotta know how to play it. Yeah.
Well, I like to think so far I'm surviving. I haven't necessarily hit any, you occasionally get a comment like, "Hey, you're a fag," whatever. That's to be expected. But so far, nothing completely insane. I've been pretty lucky so far, I think.
Yeah. See, the thing is, this is the one thing.
Yeah.
This is the one thing that I will probably stick to until I get a better sense of the world, is that I will probably continue making my stuff for free as long as I can, because, in my opinion, once you introduce money into the equation, it becomes much harder to maintain any level of artistic... I don't know what the word is. It's like, you're sticking to it for what you originally did, not because of some, other reason.
Yeah.
So,
like if I were to release a video about Minecraft just because it's the popular thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah,
Which, get ready to watch Rerez does Minecraft next week on Rerez.tv. Oh my god. Nah.
Yeah, woohoo. But yeah, no, but
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, I'll never ever do paid subscriptions. That is never, and even when I get like if I'm an off chance I ever get like a sub button on Twitch, because I think once you do that, you can like set the chat to only be sub chat only. It's like I would never do that. No way.
Oh yeah, diversifying your audience. That's
Yeah,
smart.
I would never do that. I mean, it's like I'd have the button there. I'd be like, hey, whatever, fuck, donate if you want. I don't care. But I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna willingly take away features. Just hey, pay up. You wanna talk to people. You wanna put Kappa in the chat? No, you gotta pay me.
Yeah,
No.
it's ridiculous.
I'm not gonna.
And
Patreon's okay with me because it's completely optional, and I'm not gonna limit anybody who doesn't give me money. I'm just I would never force people. Like part of me is always like, always greedy for money, but I'm never greedy to the point where I will, piss people off and not give them things that they otherwise deserve to begin with. I would never do that.
See, from what I've done with Rerez on YouTube so far, I've done it mostly because I do with what I'm comfortable with, but you have to make, like, if you want people to watch, and if you're doing it for basically if you're doing a show on YouTube and you want people to watch it, there are certain things you need to adhere to. And a couple of the things I do, which was never done from a business point of view really, but done just because it's what the communities I grew up in, this is what you're supposed to do. So using licensed music, that was a no-go from the day one with Rerez. Rerez, when everyone was having those copyright claims and stuff, Rerez...
No, you're using the Ren and Stimpy music, and I respect that.
Everybody thinks I'm using Yogscast music, but I guess Yogscast likes Ren and Stimpy
No, it's
as
Ren
well.
and Stimpy. It's all public open source. Also, guys, I kind of have to get back to my room, so I'm going to quickly get out of this. Any idea how much longer you're going to be running for?
I'm not too sure. Probably a couple, maybe another 5 or 10 minutes. Let me take a look at the time.
Well, I'm gonna duck out then if it's not gonna be too long. So it was good talking to both of you. We should do this again sometime.
Absolutely.
Don't leave me alone. He's gonna eat me.
Tell your channel and everything so everybody that's listening can go to it.
It's Westerly Reviews at YouTube. Probably gonna rebrand it sometime soon. So just look up that.
It's really cool.
Thanks, man.
If you haven't seen his channel, there's a character on it, and he's basically talking over top of scribbled paper. So that's when you know you've gotten to the right channel when you find that. So Westerly Reviews.
Scribbled paper, my favorite.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Shane.
Welcome.
Just a scribbled
And
paper.
thanks, Chris.
Yeah, welcome. I love you.
All right, I'll talk to both of you later. Chris, I don't know if I follow you on Twitter or not, so I'm gonna
I think you do.
have to. Yeah.
I'm
I
certain
wouldn't.
you do. I frequently see your sexy scribbled face.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll
so
just make sure. about that.
I'm pretty sure you do.
Okay. And
Yeah.
it'll just be from other people who like and favorite your stuff. So yeah, it appears that I do. All right. Yep,
Yay.
everything's in order.
I love you.
Oh,
I love
thanks.
you, paper. I love you, crinkly paper man.
Crinkly paper man.
Crinkly paper man.
All right. All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. See you later.
All right. Later, man. Bye.
I love you. Yeah. And then there were two.
Yes, too.
It's now Rerez Master Show.
Yes.
Smash Master Rez. Okay, I'm gonna shut up now.
And yes, Super Ghostbuster, that's going to be his show handle as well. I'll put the link in the description of the video when it goes live as well. And you know what? After this next ball, I think I will have lost this pinball table, and then I will be logging off as well.
No! Oh no!
But yeah, it's everything we were talking about with essentially with YouTube channels and stuff like that. I try to do things as professional as I can just because of the background I have in film production.
Yeah.
So I know not to use things you don't own. And there you go. That's me losing the third ball quickly because I'm an idiot.
Shit!
Oh, man. All right, let's see what high score I got.
I lost all my balls.
Yeah, I did. It happens every time.
They all dropped. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right.
Good job, Chris. Stellar A+
Second high
material.
score.
Well, don't worry, guys. This isn't a standard everyday occurrence on Rerez TV. Don't worry. all of the opinions shared right now are not necessarily owned and or affiliated with Shane Lewis.
Yes.
Most of them.
All right, guys. Well, Chris, thanks. Chris, share your show.
Okay. Hold on. Let me. Fuck. What am I called? I'm Smash Master Show. I'll put the thing in the thing. Hold up. I'll type it in the
thing. Yeah, type it out. And
the thing
super.
in the
Yeah, if there's any questions, like throw them out now. So
I know Super Ghostbuster at the very least. I recognize him. He loves me.
So Super Ghostbuster, what is your favorite video game? Rerez, I have a couple of favorite video games.
Oh yeah, shit! I put the link in wrong. I gotta do it again.
I think so. If you want to know one of the best ones I've got, one of my favorite video games is a game called Magical Puzzle Popples. I did a video on that a little while ago, and I can't describe how awesome this game is. It's kind of like a puzzler game that was created on the Game Gear, and it's beyond anything else that was released on the Game Gear. I would consider it to be the best Game Gear game ever made, and it's unknown, uncommon. I don't even think it's that rare, but it's just very unknown, very uncommon. I bought my copy when I was a kid, new in a store, and I thought that's what Game Gear games were all about. And it's got like a battery backup save. Basically, you could turn off the game and then turn it back on, and it would remember exactly where you were, and it would bypass the title screen and everything. And that was in a game on the Game Gear before any other game console that was handheld was doing some stuff like that. So it was really neat. It's a really neat game. Really great soundtrack. Really cool and cute graphics that they went for. Very worthwhile. I suggest you try it out. Yeah. So, Chris, I think that's about it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And have yourselves a great night. And I'll probably try and stream again. I don't know. Maybe in a couple days. Maybe not in a couple days, but at least Monday. At least Monday after the new rant video goes up. So, guys, that's about it. Have yourself a good night. Chris, you can say goodbye if you like.
No, everyone sucks.
You heard it.
They don't deserve it. No, good night.
Everyone sucks, according to Chris. All right, guys. Have a good night, and see you later.
Bye.
Bye. I can still hear you. You can still hear me.
Yeah, but I always do that when the stream goes out. I always repeat. That's off.
Alright, cool stuff. Very fun.
Still going or
Just basically, I can't hear you right now. It's just playing some music and it's going to end.